Hello students, this video is going to be about making your corrections to your volume checkpoint. You will notice that it does say corrections at the top, but it is a Google form. So you go ahead and fill out all your information. Please take note of the formulas here. Volume equals your length times your width times your height, or it also has volume equals your area of your base times your height. Remember, the area of the base is equivalent to your length times your width, and then you would multiply it by the height. As I move down here, number 1 says, which set of the dimensions belongs to the right rectangular prisms with a volume of 440? So that word dimensions, if you didn't know what that means, it's the lengths, the measurements, and we're talking about each dimension multiplied by each other to get that volume. So we've got the dimensions would be a 6 by 12 by 5, or a 7 by 9 by 6, etc. So you're looking for which of those would multiply to make 440. Then down here, this is new. It says it's a reflection. So it says to earn back your full credit, you must reflect. So even if you miss this one, go ahead because it's a required question. Go ahead and mark which one you did get correct the first time. And then what you're going to do instead of reflecting, you're just going to say, I got that one right. If you didn't get it right, you're going to put a meaningful reflection here. How did you fix your mistake? What did you do to correct it? So when you're thinking about that, instead of just writing things like I guessed or I didn't know how, think about, did you learn anything from your notes? Did you ask somebody what dimensions meant? Did you watch this video? Write down a meaningful idea and then what you did to correct it. That's important too. So to get your full points, make sure you do that. We will hand grade the reflections. The other part should be graded for you. The next one, you're going to be finding the volume of this figure, but again, you're rounding to the nearest tenth place. So the nearest tenth place is just one spot after the decimal. So my guess is if you missed that one, you might have not rounded. So there's a reflection there for you. The next one is a cube, and it's talking about or a dice, I should say, or a cube. Each length is 15. So 15 times 15 times 15. A lot of students try to say 15 times 3 because they just rush through. So it's not 15 times 3, it's 15 times the length of 15 times the width of 15 times the height of 15. So make sure you just do 3 of 15s. Then reflect. The next one, typically, again, you still do length times width times height. If the question's in fractions, we do like you to answer in fractions. And what's awesome about this is Mrs. Gertis made them improper, and then she changed them to mix for you. So these are equivalent to each other, so you just have to find the one that would be the volume. The next one's volume, again, length times width times height, to find the answer using some decimals and some whole numbers. And then reflect. The next one, you're actually going to be using that formula of the large B for the area of the base times the height. Now, it doesn't really look like the height facing this way. You could tilt it up on its side, so this would be still the base down here times the height. And it's okay. Sometimes people find the area of just the length and the width, and then they use the height, so the length and the width to get the area, or they could use other dimensions and then use one of the other, in this case, the width. So that's completely fine. Just make sure that you take what they are telling you is the area times the other number. So there's two numbers there. A rectangular prism has a height of 22 yards and a base with the area of 152. So again, you're going to be using the formula of the volume equals the area of the base times the height. And reflect. This next one was a little tricky. My guess is some of you did not realize this set a square base with sides measuring 45. So that means at least the base has a length of 45 and the width of 45. So you're trying to figure out the height. Now, these two numbers plus whatever your next number is going to be has to multiply all together to get this large number, 151,875 cubic centimeters. So again, you're going to have to either use these choices and see 15 times 15 times one of these choices will give you this answer. The next one, a rectangular garage has a volume and a length and a width. So you're missing the height. So this is similar to the missing dimensions activity that we did on the slideshow. So you're saying, this times what gives you this. Another strategy you might want to do, I had some students yesterday realize that they could do the inverse. So they could divide. And so instead of multiplying 12 times 8 times something to get 480, they start off with 480 and then they did some division to kind of work backwards. So that's another thought for you. Make sure you reflect. And then the last one, right triangular prism. Or rectangular prism, sorry. We'll get to triangles soon, but rectangular prism has a volume of this 117 and 81 hundredths cubic centimeters, a height, and a width. So again, you're trying to find the length. So you have a missing dimension. Again, you could use that inverse if that helps you. You could um, you could also say just, 16.5 times 2 gives you this. What times that will give you that? I probably would work more with the inverse on that one. All right, I hope that helped you. Make sure you do your reflections and then you submit. You can have a copy sent to you as well. So you just toggle that over. So if you want that sent to you and then you press submit and you should be good to go. All right, have a great day.